Okay, so today we are going to be talking about CQ or cultural intelligence. So, first, let's define what cultural intelligence is. Cultural intelligence, or CQ, is the capability to relate and work effectively in culturally diverse situations. Um, Based on the four components of the CQ, I chose to do strategy, which is the third one, and it's basically how will you plan in light of the cultural differences. So, in order to help find tips for this strategy, I found an article that discussed five different tips or solutions that can help us best lead in our cultural intelligence work environment. And the first one is to first understand how cultural affects your work and the work of others. So, this is a versatile thing. Obviously, all of us have been shaped by our experiences in different environments that we have grown up in or been a part of. It obviously impacts our work ethics, our communication styles, the way we handle relationship situations, etc. Um, and oftentimes, I think we're guilty of projecting our preferred style of like working on our own teams or expecting others to conform to meet our expectations. And I think it's very important to stay open-minded throughout this strategy. The second one is to build your management style portfolio. So basically, an example of this is McDonald's, and um, obviously they are a worldwide universal food company. And so they are also over in Europe and other countries, but how they best build their management style portfolio is they present different menus in every country. So you can expect a similar taste and a similar standard across all regions, but the products are different. In other words, basically, the identity remains consistent, but the presentation is different depending on the audience. And so they're adaptive and know their audience and where they are at. The third one is to accommodate for cultural differences in a practical way. So, a way that we can do this is just as a manager to be flexible and to kind of go with the flow and be okay with little things like culturally significant holidays or events or different things that maybe we as a manager wouldn't understand for our culture, but it is important to another culture. So it's very important to understand that and be open minded to it. And just to make room for people to express themselves, not to be so closed minded or think it has to be a certain way. I think that's the main point of cultural uh, intelligence in cultural intelligence within the workplace is just being able to understand other cultures and to work with them and appreciate the differences. The fourth one is to be an effective communicator. So, as a leader, when it comes to using effective communication, there's four different kind of techniques, I guess you could say, is for first of all, just to use universal language. Two, to adjust the speed of your speech to suit the audience. And three, to make sure that you have been understood. So these three things are just, again, simple things and may seem simple, but they're just tips in order to help others better understand us and to make sure that we're all on the same page. And then the fifth one is just to be observant and ask plenty of questions. So, when you learn about different cultures and whatnot, it's important to just be open minded and to ask questions so you can better understand what makes people the way that they are and what makes them, I guess, tick in a sense. There's obviously going to be differences and things that maybe make you feel like it's wrong, but at the end of the day, it's not wrong, it's just a preference. So I think just being open-minded is super important. And then kind of a quote to end this is just from the book. It says, "The ease with which we encounter so many cultural differences in a 24-hour period can lead us to underestimate the chasm of differences between one culture and the next. I think this is so, like, relevant and true. I think we don't always understand that cultural differences are real. We kind of forget them or brush them under the rug, which is being aware, I think, is super important within the workplace, and just, again, being open minded and not being judgmental and creating an environment that is um, culturally friendly and people can feel like they can express themselves. And yeah, I think that that is cultural intelligence, and I think that is the best way we can implement it into the workplace.